All right, we're gonna get started. Okay, welcome everyone to the regular business meeting of Reading City Council here on Monday, July 26th. We are gonna open this evening's meeting with the invocation. And I don't think we have, is Crystal on with us?
She is not.
She's not. So I'm gonna offer a brief invocation and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear God, thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. Thank you for the opportunity to do the business for the people of the city of Reading. Thank you God for allowing us to be present and make the best possible decisions we can for everyone in the city. We cherish our people, our nature, and our livelihoods, and we thank you for all those opportunities. Amen.
Amen.
All right, I'm gonna ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have a flag, Linda? Do we have a flag?
I had one ready.
We had a flag ready, we lost the flag, so give us 1 second, please.
Two weeks, somebody wanted. There we go.
There you go. Okay. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, thank you, everyone. We're going to ask Linda to please do a roll call.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Here.
Ms. Goodman Hendershitz? Here. Mr. Marlboro?
Here.
Ms. Reed? Here. Ms. Helmick?
Here.
Ms. Ventura?
Here.
Mr. Waltman President?
Here.
7 present, none absent.
Okay, an executive session on the recycling litigation was held at the conclusion of the July 12th committee of the whole meeting in accordance with the Sunshine Act, Title 65, Section 708A4. This evening, we do have a commendation recognizing Urban Agriculture Week, and I'm going to turn it over to Lucine
Yes, thank you.
to read the
Councilman.
commendation, please. Thank you.
Well, I hope that most people know that last week was Urban Agriculture Week here in the state of Pennsylvania. And I think I see Dean Druckenmiller on the call this evening. Hi, Dean, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Last week, as we celebrated this week, we were very fortunate to have the State Agricultural Secretary Russell Redding with us. He was able to visit a newer project down at the Goggle Works in partnership with Flowers Park and Johannes District. And the mayor was there to be able to present a proclamation, which, you know, if you know me, you know that I've been focused on urban agriculture for at least a decade in the city of Reading, and it is critical that we are all recognizing and celebrating the efforts. And we will be presenting this commendation as City Council in recognition of our partnership with the Berks County Conservation District. And I just want to take a minute before I read through this to acknowledge all of the people who, as residents living in the city of Reading, have gardens, have container gardens, have little areas, buckets, or yard space dedicated to gardening. All of our city urban gardens throughout the entire city, and also some other organizations like Berks Nature and the Penn Street Farmers Market, St. John's downtown campus. That has a farmer's market, the Food Trust of Philadelphia and the Reading chapter that's here, the Penn State Extension Master Gardeners, the Environmental Advisory Committee, Reading Housing Authority, 18th Wonder Group, Opportunity House. Alvernia is the Bog Turtle Creek Farm, which is a student-led farm. Albright has a wonderful urban garden on their campus. The Goggle Works, of course, as we mentioned before, even our Berks County Department of Agriculture, everyone is playing a part in celebrating urban agriculture in our community. And so I will like to present this commendation at this time. Whereas agriculture has the power to change lives and build a stronger sense of community, proving that agriculture is zip code neutral, and including the successful Victory Garden initiatives, improving access to fresh local food within city limits, and reducing the distance food travels from farm to table. Urban agriculture fortifies human, environmental, and community neighborhood health. And urban agriculture provides an opportunity to engage and educate the next generation of agriculturalists and those new to the agricultural industry. Urban agriculture initiatives seek to raise awareness of the presence of agriculture and food production in urban environments while encouraging an increase in output of products. And it provides multiple benefits beyond the primary goal of growing food, including creating stronger communities, improving community nutrition, raising real estate values, diminishing crime, reducing blight, opening economic development opportunities, and improving stormwater runoff. Urban gardens provide valuable socialization and a feeling of connectivity to the land and to the community. And it provides a vehicle for teaching science, technology, engineering, and math, and encourages agricultural job training programs. Now, therefore, the Council of City of Reading commends as follows: that we recognize the contributions of urban agriculture to an improved quality of life in our city. And we urge all the citizens to have a stronger connection to their food supply and to the community and each other. So Dean, thank you for being the recipient and champion for the recognition this year of National Urban Agriculture Week. And I just want to ask if you have any comments to make.
Well, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. I'm looking forward to a great partnership with the city in this urban agriculture initiative. And, we're just starting to get the wheels cranking here and get things moving. And we look forward to a lot of good things coming probably very quickly. We're trying to get things ramped up pretty quick. So I would expect a lot of things to happen in a short amount of time. But this is excellent. I want to thank the council for this commendation. And again, I look forward to a great partnership with the city.
Thank you, Dean, for your work.
Okay, thank you, Lucine and Dean. We're going to move on. Do we have one public speaker this evening?
Correct. Mr. Van Buskirk is connected.
Okay, before I ask you to speak, Kurt, we're going to ask our Councilwoman Donna Reed to please read our public comment guidelines.
Mr. President, due to COVID-19, also known as coronavirus, public speaking requirements have been modified. Public comment can be offered by telephone or virtual meeting application by registering with the city clerk 610-655-6205 by noon on the day of the business meeting, or in writing through an email to council@readingpa.gov, or a letter mailed to the city council office, both clearly marked public comment. Written public comment must be submitted by 4 p.m. the day of the meeting to allow time to distribute the comments submitted. The written comment received will be read into the record. Comments posted in Zoom chat and on Facebook are not considered public comment, and a response may not occur. All remarks must be directed to council as a body and not to any individual council member, or public or elected or appointed official in attendance. Any comment that is personally offensive or impertinent will not be read into the record. Comments on agenda matters are limited to 5 minutes in length, and comments on non-agenda matters are limited to 3 minutes in length.
Okay, Kurt, good evening, sir. You have up to 3 minutes this evening.
Thank you very much for your time. Linda, we have those pictures ready for them to see?
We do.
Okay, great. The first picture is 125, 119 South 4th Street. You're all familiar with the problems in the past of South 4th Street, but that block has turned around very well. The first thing I want to mention to you is they have 18 illegal vehicles in their parking area, and one is parked right by the sidewalk. Attempts to talk to Devon Properties, got no answer on the phone, no voicemail, no one answers to knocking. I thought if we had a conversation with them, we could get this taken care of. 18 illegal cars on that lot. That's a pretty big deal in that neighborhood, which is very nice right now. What you'll also find, they have a 40-yard dumpster. And in the past, recently, we've had overflowing dumpster and codes had to handle garbage up against their fence, mattresses, box springs, and such. So that property, we need codes to take an active interest as early as tomorrow and start citing them for these 18 illegal vehicles. The second picture, Linda, is down at the Bingaman Court Apartments, down south of there a few blocks. You're probably all familiar with the Shiloh Mennonite Church. Well, at the back of the church is the dumpster for those apartments. It's only one dumpster for all those, and there's garbage piled all the way around the dumpster, and it's probably taken up 3 times as much space as the dumpster, which is overflowing. It would seem to me that I have given the city a couple of complaints on that, but certainly a $25 quality of life fine in no way, shape, or form starts to address this issue. And the Shiloh Mennonite Church shouldn't have to put up with a huge pile of garbage behind their nice church. The third picture, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the 100 block of West Green Street. There's a long strip of land there that has 4 illegal cars. The picture that you're looking at now shows you how bad that area is. With the people changing their oil, working on their cars in that area, there's all kinds of trash in that area. If anyone takes a drive by, I think they're going to wonder, what is the city doing to correct this problem? It's my understanding the property is owned by a North Jersey person, and I think that we need to get a little bit more active at taking care of that neighborhood. Now, the last thing I want to mention is 1435 Monroe Street. Kind of out there on the edge of things. And over the past 3 years, I've done 25 complaints. It started with 5 illegal cars, garbage, high weed. With my recent complaints, somebody has cleaned the weeds, but we still have 3 illegal cars. We have piles of garbage. And the neighbors have been putting up with this, I'm told, from as early as 2013. Now that address again is 1435 Monroe Street, and certainly codes needs to come out and do what they can. The property itself, my understanding is that maybe it should have been condemned, but these are just 4 issues in the city that I've found by spending a little time there. And I think that with the codes department, we need to be more aggressive at cleaning up some of these neighborhoods. I thank the council for this time. Have a good evening.
All right, Kirk, thank you very much. Any council members have any immediate need to respond? Obviously, it's an administrative issue. Dave is on the call here with us, and hopefully they'll take some action. Does anybody have any comments? Go ahead, Doug.
2 of these are in my district, West Green and Monroe Street. I would ask that we could get some kind of response within a week.
All right, that's a fair request.
And especially the car, the car's really alarming because of the danger to kids. That should never be allowed. That's insane. That car is insane.
Okay, so hey, the request was that we have an update on those properties if possible by next
Certainly,
week.
we'll be happy to work on them. And to your point, yes, abandoned vehicles are a problem. They're a nuisance, and we need to address them.
I got Marcia, then Lucina, and
Yeah, I guess I need to reinforce what Donna's saying here. When I see that car and having worked in child welfare, it's not only a matter of within a week, that needs to
Yeah.
be seen
Tonight.
yeah. I mean, if we now become aware of this as public officials and don't have immediate action taken and something happens, to someone because of the danger of that, we're part of the problem then and we're part of the liability. So I would hope we could have an officer go out and look at that. It just does, it cannot be left sitting there.
Qualifies as immediately towable. Yeah, let's get it going.
well, the car he showed us was on a lot.
No,
It's still-
no, that was on the street.
No, I thought that was, let me see that.
It's on the street, that's West
Yeah, I
Green.
think, let me see that. I think what you.
Jeff, it's where the street curves
Let me
down
look at it.
towards Dana.
Yeah, so there's a
Right back
car,
there, it's a mess.
so
back
you
there.
see the car, and then there's another car, and then there's across the street, there's additional cars, so.
Jeff, it's still public
I'm
street.
not, yeah, I'm not saying it shouldn't be dealt with, I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
everyone's aware of where this thing is parked.
Well, when
And
the police
nobody's
go by
saying
there,
we have
they'll be
a
able to
week to
see that.
resolve these, Donna has to get a report on them by next Monday night. Go ahead, Lucy.
Yes, I agree. There needs to be immediate action taken for what was presented just this evening, but what was also presented, which I'd like the administration to address, is that over 8 years and at least 25 calls on one specific incident, we have not been able to respond or remediate these issues. And so I'd like to know from the administration, how do they plan to better address when individuals like, I think it was Kurt, takes the time, calls in, makes the efforts repeatedly over and over and over again over years. How can we pay attention so that we just don't have to put out immediate fires all the time?
Exactly.
So,
And I
so
think
when
that-
they're ready, we need an answer on that.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a good thing for the priorities, so,
She read my mind. Thank you, Councilwoman
Okay.
Dean.
all right, Strat,
This is gonna make me too popular here. All this started approximately 6 years ago. That was a big turnaround. The police now, you call them to go out with certain items. They're telling you it's the parking authority's job. You call the parking authority, they tell you it's the police job. That's all bull. There's a violation that we've seen there, that should be taken care of right now. Why isn't it being done? I always said, if you're gonna have regulations, you must enforce them. If you're not gonna enforce them, then rip them up and throw them away. Now, we've seen the problem here, all of us saw it. I don't wanna say I insist, but these things have to be corrected immediately.
okay, so.
Thank you.
All right, so our comments to Kurt was the body believes that there needs to be some immediate remedies, and we've asked the administration to look into it. So we're just trying, I don't want to replicate the same message, I just want to have a quick response to the speakers. Donna, go ahead.
Going on what's Ron said, we look at these particular egregious pictures, and I can understand his concern. But it's also been, it's no consolation to you as a citizen, but those of us on council have had issues that we've been
Yes.
advocating for resolution for multiple administrations. And Jeff and I can certainly speak to the West Windsor Street situation. I went through there last week and it was everything in me not to get out of my car and start becoming a mad woman screaming at the people. We could not get through. The garage there was actually blocking and working on cars in the street, double parked. So there was no movement on West Windsor.
Where's
Street.
this at, Donna?
On West
Okay.
Windsor.
Okay, okay.
We're gonna
But
do
Jeff,
it, yeah.
what I'm trying to point out to this gentleman is that I understand your frustration, but believe me, we're frustrated too. So something is not working properly. The city, the appearance of the city reflects that. And I thank you for bringing these things up within my district, and I'm sure the rest of us do as well. And I will go, when I leave council today, I will go in West Street to see what's going on.
All right, thank you everyone for the comments. We're gonna move on. Thank you, Kurt, for the public speaking. We're gonna move on to our approval of agenda and minutes. includes the minutes from our July 12th regular meeting and the approving of submissions of discussion from the July 12th and July 19th committee of the whole meetings and the July 19th nomination committee meeting. As part of the approval of our agenda minutes, it also includes the consent agenda legislation. I'm going to read through, there's 5 items. I'm going to read through them quickly. The first item is a resolution authorizing the managing director to sign and submit the attached traffic signal maintenance agreement, to submit future modifications to that agreement, and also to submit future applications for traffic signal approval to PennDOT. The next item under the consent agenda is an award of contract for the Angelica Park ADA Improvements Project to Columbia Excavating in Berwick, PA, in the amount of $162,986.21. The next item is an award of contract for the Pagoda Access Modification Project to close the Pagoda parking lot to vehicular traffic during nighttime hours and maintain two-way traffic on Skyline Drive to Barwis Construction in Birchboro, PA, in the amount of $160,344. The next item is a resolution appointing Donna Reed as the council representative to the America 250 PA Berks County Commission. And the final item under the consent agenda is a resolution authorizing the purchase of one stake body with chassis for the Public Works Parks Division from Manderbach Ford in the amount of $85,034.84. So these are the items as part of the approval of the agenda that are under the consent agenda. Is there any objection to the approval of our agenda minutes and consent agenda items? If not, they stand as approved. We are going to move on now to the administrative report. We're going to welcome the Honorable Abe Amoros. Anybody else who is here this evening to present. Good evening, Abe.
Good evening, Council President. Please forgive my voice. I'm feeling a little, pardon me, a little bit under the weather. So I will get through the report as quickly as I can and with minimum interruption. Mayor, I participated in a press event alongside HUD and HHS officials on June the 29th. We announced a joint agency effort to increase access to COVID-19 prevention and treatment services to underserved and vulnerable communities such as HUD-assisted households and those experiencing homelessness. The event highlighted the availability of COVID-19 vaccines at federally qualified health centers like the Berks Community Health Center and how residents can access them. On July 6th, he participated in the groundbreaking ceremony for the Pedestrian Safety and Bike Trail Project, where the city collaborated with the 18th Wonder Neighborhood Group, which is going to utilize a $725,000 multimodal grant award. The mayor also participated in the campaign with the executive director of the Reading Library, Brian Campbell, promoting the library as a fine-free library, which launched on July 8th to a lot of applause within the. On July the 14th, the mayor had the pleasure of performing a wedding ceremony for Nancy Hernandez and Miguel Balaguer, and the ceremony took place in council chambers, and all the best. The mayor also toured the annual Rescue League facility and met with the organization's leadership on July the 15th. The ARL described their work in the city, specifically their medical and animal teams. Administration will work with them on outreach to educate the community in canine parvovirus they have recently seen in the city and promote vaccination. On July 16th, the mayor attended the Rebuilding the Entrance and Reading graduation ceremony, R3, and the ceremony was held in the County Services Center. And lastly, the mayor participated in the kickoff event for the back to school student and family vaccination effort at Southwest Middle School on July the 16th. This is an event that's a collaborative effort with the city, the Reading School District, and State Health, St. Joseph. Under community development, the department completed the lead hazard reduction grant application, which was submitted as part of the 2022 Housing Urban Development Grant. The application was supported by 14 letters from various leaders in our community. We wish to thank Senator Toomey, Senator Schwank, Congresswoman Houlihan, State Representative Razzi, State Representative Guzman, in addition to county commissioners and GRCA representatives. The department also participated in a town hall meeting organized by Congresswoman Houlihan on behalf of the administration, which focused on workforce development for COVID-19. As an opportunity zone, the city shared initiatives that bridge the skills gap and how we're helping foster the entrepreneurial spirit of small businesses. Property Maintenance Division is continuing to carry out education and enforcement actions. As of July the 15th, property maintenance inspectors issued 905 notices of violations, 157 residential unit inspections, and discovered 29 illegal rental units. Under Finance, the department's IT division migrated all users to the new email server on Thursday, July the 15th through the 8th. Shared mailboxes, public folders, and some resource mailboxes are still in the process of migration, and it is in preparations to change the external IP addresses next. Finance department also is beginning to test, is in its testing phase for Microsoft 365, and the Citizen Service Center mailed letters on July the 14th to 1,810 properties, indicating to owners that the conversion to city trash service is underway. Currently, 805 accounts are due to expire at a later date. This number is expected to slight increase as we receive additional contracts back to prior to the change. New letters will be sent at the expiration of the contracts. Finance Department CSC confirmed Keystone Collections mailed 2021 per capita tax bills, which went into effect July 1st. And the Finance Department's accounting division has begun work 2022 draft budget. All city departments and divisions have received templates for discussions and have been given a time of August 6th to follow up. Finance Department's grants division has the following grant updates: a United States Department of Justice 2021 Justice Assistance Grants application. It's a $63,303 grant to be used for police officer overtime hours, concentrating on problem-oriented police, special details, and officer training, national incident-based reporting system, data collection, and reporting as required. Application submission is still expected to occur on August the 9th. And the Finance Department also held a kickoff meeting for the defined contribution plan scheduled to go live on October 1st. The city is working with Conrad Siegel on this plan, a mandatory Act 47 implementation item that will affect all new non-uniform new employees will be automatically enrolled in a defined contribution plan with a city match contribution that is vested after 3 years of service. Employees currently enrolled in the city defined benefit plan will not be impacted. Fire Department, the 9th and Marion Street Station, currently has a construction RFP out for bid. There's an on-site meeting scheduled on August the 2nd with proposals due on August 24th. The department's contract ready to go before council by September the 13th, with groundbreaking expected to be October. For the Human Relations Commission, we continue to provide rent and utility assistance applications, 979 total, 962 applications for rental assistance, 629 applicants facing eviction, 245 applicants were not actively facing eviction, 88 resided outside the city but within the county, 17 applications. Under police, the department's multi-agency Operation Ceasefire detail on July the 8th resulted in 24 additional arrests and 4 firearm seizures. The department also successfully completed a second homeless outreach operation in collaboration with Homeless Coalition. The operation focused on reaching homeless persons in city parks and playgrounds, and these operations will continue every other week at various locations throughout the city. And I believe the next one is scheduled for this Thursday. And I believe they go out between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. The police department is also hosting National Night Out on August the 3rd. And this event will take place at the 500 block of 10th Street from 5 to 8 p.m. with various government and community agency groups participating. And we encourage every member of council to come and join us in this fun family event and save time for the community to enjoy food, music, various presentations, and really get to know our first responders. And lastly, under police, the Police Academy has moved from Alvernia's main campus to Alvernia University's Upland Center. The new location provides more office and classroom space for the academy. And lastly, under Public Works, the Public Works Department has outfitted and properly insured a new aerial bucket truck for the electrician to use. The sewers team has cleaned the Spring Street storm sewer system. The subway, the work is completed in 1 day, including cleaning the storm laterals, placing a broken catch basin. The street staff also filled an additional 227 potholes in the month of June, and its crews continue to assist in the success of Wacky Water Wednesdays by street sweeping all the sites before events. Council President, that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any question.
Right, thank you. Council members, any comments or questions? Johanny?
Just a couple. Regarding the per capita tax, the Keystone, how do we know the total number of people that turn 18? Like, how do we capture that data and send out those notices, right? Because as I understand, as soon as someone becomes 18, they're charged a per capita tax.
That's an excellent question, Counselor. One that I don't have off the top of my head, but I'd be more than happy to check with Mark Kelly to get you a more specific answer on.
And then I have two more, if I may.
Sure.
The municipal city trash, when are we, I know we extended the contract and I believe it might be expiring by the end of the new year. By the end of this year. Are we doing RFPs? And if so, when is that happening?
I'm going to have to defer that to either Fred or Stan on that matter. If we have either of them available to answer that, is either of them available to answer that for the counselor?
The contract was extended, I believe.
It was, but I believe that then we have to do an RFP, right?
Yeah, I saw some emails on it. I thought there was an RFP beginning to take form.
I'm sorry, which contract are we talking about?
Trash contract.
Trash.
Track.
Yeah, we are in the we're looking at, I think, September 10th, or I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly when it'll go out, but I think September 10th would be the date we would be expecting the bids to come in.
Correct. That is correct, Fred. And Councilwoman, we have a finalized the RFP. What we were able to do was eliminate all the I don't want to use a term, but all the stuff that the consultant used last time that was not necessary and drove, hopefully in our favor, drove the price up. So we're looking for very good quality bids. We streamlined it. We made it much more comprehensive to the city as a whole. Right now, we have final drafts for review, and hopefully we'll have the version to administration for their finalization, and then out on the street next week.
Thank you. My last question was regarding the police department, and I'm just curious of the status of the junior cadet program that they had for high school kids. I know as school is planning on reopening, I would want to know what the status of that program is. Is it still happening, and what are future plans for it?
I'll defer to the chief if he has any info on that. Chief Turnelli? Chief, are you there? I see you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. It is one of the projects we're still working on. Obviously, we have some other priorities that are more pressing to deal with. However, the deputy chief has been meeting with the Olivet clubs. I'm waiting on an update from him to get a timeline for implementation.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions or comments from council? Marcia?
It's just a question that may need to come back to a committee of the whole meeting, because school will be starting in another month. What the status is of the crossing guards program. I know we were looking at other options, but people are asking me, and I would just really like to have an update.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, the mayor's office has reached out to the superintendent's office to get a meeting on the books, and we're doing that as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
All right, any additional comments or questions? All right, if not, thank you, Ray, for the report. I'm going to welcome Maria, the city auditor, for the auditor's report. Good evening, Maria.
Good evening, Council President. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The first item on my report, the city auditor received a copy of the Reading Area Water Authority. I'm just gonna provide an update on this, on the 2020 audit for the Reading Water Authority. After reviewing the financial statement, this report illustrates the following. In March of 2020, the Reading Area Water Authority refinanced the bonds series 2011, and as a result, the interest expense line item was reduced to 2.1 million in 2020 from 3.7 million in 2019. And this was the main reason that caused the increase of $1,875,761 in net position compared to $598,104 in 2019. In 2020, the authority has an operating income of 3.6 million compared to 3.5 million in 2019, and he ended with an increase of $97,523. The total net position, which is the total assets, deferred outflow of resources minus total liability, which include current liability and long-term debt, reflects the increase on $1,875,761 and $761. And in 2020, the authority's total liability decreased by $3,737,269. The second item is an update on the real estate transfer tax as of June 30, 2021. For the month of June of the current year, the city collected $719,000, $42.39 in revenue for real estate transfer tax. And as of June 30, 2021, a total of $4,122,096.93 has already been received, which is 88% of total amount budgeted. For the first 6 months of the current year, a total of 1,283 transactions for real estate transfer tax has been completed, of which 1,777 transactions were taxable and 206 were not taxable transactions. Until now, the city has collected $1,048,249.64 for properties sold for more than $500,000 threshold. This is my report for tonight. I'm open for any question that you. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make an emphasis on the fire escrow 2020 audit. The fire escrow audit has been completed by the Office of the City Auditor and was presented at the 5 p.m. meeting. As previously stated, the fire escrow account has a liability of $766,883.41 as of December 31, 2020. This is my report for tonight, and I'm open for any question that you might have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Council members, any comments or questions on Maria's report? All right, if not, thank you again, Maria. We're going to move on this evening to a report from the Electricians Examination Board, and we have with us Mr. Jeff Bauer. He's our electrical inspector, to provide us a brief update with that board. Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, Council. We have a full board, so we don't have any vacancies at the moment. We have been having regular meetings, the next meeting of which is August 30th. It's a Monday. We just completed our trades testing for the third quarter of this year. Other than that, I don't really have anything to report.
Okay, well, that's a report. Thank you, Jeff. Answer questions, anybody? Go ahead, Johnny.
So my question is more towards what are the goals or the plan for the electricians board as it relates to identifying like educational or partners within the community, because we have about 4 colleges and institutions to provide those educational requirements for a lot of our electricians. I know that they need to either be recertified or there's additional certification required or things of the sort. And I remember in interviews, I'm so sorry, Jeff, in interviews of potential board members, reappointments, there was always a concern that a lot of the electricians had to go either out of the city or out of the county to seek those educational requirements.
At this time, we don't have any requirements to have continuing education. It's something that I have been trying to work on. I haven't brought it to the board yet. I will bring it up at the next meeting because as far as I know, there is no plan at this time. But we will look into it, and if that's something that City Council would like to see, it's something that we will move on.
Okay, additional comments, go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff, this is Councilman Longo. Must you be a master electrician to be on this board?
That I'm not sure of. I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look into that.
Thank you. The answer is yes. All right, yeah, the answer is yes. Additional questions, anyone? Okay, Jeff, thank you for your very concise report. You get the report of the year.
Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your patience too.
Yeah.
Let's get a plaque or something.
Okay, do that.
All right. Okay, we're gonna move on, council, to ordinances for final passage. The first ordinance is 54-2021. Amending the city of Reading, amending the city code by adding a new chapter 433 public art and to establish a process for the city to consider public art projects that will effectively enliven neighborhoods and create outcomes such as safety, livability, walkability, health, and economic development in city neighborhoods. This was introduced at the June 28th regular meeting, advertised on July 5th, and tabled at the July 12th regular meeting. Is there a motion, please?
Move to table.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. It's a table motion, so there's no discussion on the table motion. Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Helmut, second by Councilor Kubanishitz.
No, Linda.
Was that?
It was
Motion by
Donna.
Donna, second by me.
Sorry, she's not on
Yeah.
To table, bill number 54, 21. Ms. Beta Freitas?
Yes.
Ms. Kubanishitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmarin?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Helmut?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Mr. Walton, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Our next ordinance is bill number 55-2021, amending the administrative code section 5-208, rules of procedure by defining a quorum and remote participation at meetings. This was introduced at the July 12th regular meeting, advertised on July 19th. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
So properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments? We'll just note that this is just defining some protocols for the kind of the hybrid meeting approach, allowing council members to participate in regular business meetings remotely up to 4 times a year, unless there's additional reasoning they could actually go a little longer, and then also allowing people to participate in committee the whole remotely as well, just to establish some process in this interim period. The next ordinance is bill number 56-2021, amending the administrative code.
You got a call.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Just say yeah. Just say yes.
Motion is made by Councilor Marmarin.
I was so caught up in explaining, it, yeah.
By Councilor Beta Freitas, to enact bill number 55, 2021. That amends the administrative code section 5208, rules of procedure by defining a quorum and remote participation. Ms. Kubanishitz? Yes. Mr. Marmarin?
Yes.
Ms. Reed? Yes. Ms. Helmut?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Ms. Beta Freitas?
Yes.
Mr. Walton, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
The next ordinance is bill number 56-2021, amending the administrative code section 5-209, public participation by providing citizens with the ability to continue to submit written public comment. Again, this was introduced at the July 12th regular meeting and advertised on July 19th. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Jeff?
Yep, go ahead, Marcia.
I just think the comment is to make sure that we're consistently informing the public about how this is being applied, because I think there will be confusion. And in any ways that we talked about earlier at the committee of the whole, to make sure the administration, all of the interfaces with the city are informing people, and then we make sure that people don't erroneously think that they can come into the building to meetings after hours.
And again, it's just to establish some protocols for written public comment moving forward. If there are no other comments, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Reed, seconded by Councilor Ventura to enact Bill number 56, 2021, which amends the administrative code, public participation by providing citizens with the ability to continue to submit written. Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Helmet?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Ms. Peter Freakins?
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hittershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
The next ordinance is Bill number 57-2021, establishing a no parking zone on the north side of the 200 block of Chestnut Street to eliminate traffic concerns at the Remcon building. This was introduced at the July 12th regular meeting and advertised on July 19th. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Pretty self-explanatory. All right, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Marmaru, seconded by Councilor Goodman Hittershitz to enact Bill number 57, 2021, which establishes a no parking zone on the north side of the 200 block of Chestnut Street. Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Helmet?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Mr. Peter Freakins?
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hittershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no.
Okay, the next ordinance is Bill number 58-2021, directing the County Board of Elections to place a referendum on the 2021 general election ballot to eliminate Charter Section 1110, recall of elected officials, as the state Supreme Court has determined that local recall provisions are unconstitutional due to the removal process for elected officials provided in the state constitution. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So properly moved and seconded. Any comments? Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Goodman Hittershitz, seconded by Councilor Sahelmet to enact Bill number 58, 2021, which puts forth a referendum question to eliminate the recall section of the charter. Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Helmet?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Mr. Peter Freakins?
Yes.
Ms. Goodman Hittershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Okay, our final ordinance for passage is number 59-2021, directing the County Board of Elections to place a referendum on the 2021 general election ballot to amend Charter Section 1204 amendments by making the correct citation to State Statute Title 53, Subchapter C, amendment of existing charter or optional plan through the County Board of Elections. This was introduced at the July 12th regular meeting and advertised on July 19th. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
So properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Sahelmet, seconded by Councilor Goodman Hittershitz to enact Bill number 59, 2021, which puts forth a referendum to amend Charter Section 1204 by correcting the citation to the existing charter optional plan through the Board of Elections. Ms. Sahelmet?
Yes.
Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Ms. Freakins? Ms. Goodman Hittershitz?
Yes.
Mr. Marmaru?
Yes.
Ms. Reed? Yes. Mr. Waltman, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Okay, we have two ordinances for introduction this evening. I'm going to ask the Councilwoman Marcia Goodman Hittershitz to please read them onto the record.
Yes. A ordinance amending the city code, chapter 23 boards and commissions, 1201 downtown revitalization, public-private partnership, section 23-201, authorization by replacing the day chair with the City of Reading designated downtown coordinator. B, ordinance directing the Berks County Board of Elections to place a referendum question before city voters on the 2021 general election ballot, which would amend the City of Reading Home Rule Charter by eliminating the requirement for the city's Public Works Director to be an engineer.
Okay, thank you, Marcia. We're going to move on to resolutions. The first resolution this evening is making a $3 million contribution to the Convention Center to assist with the capital needs for the Convention Center and the Performing Arts Center. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Been properly moved and seconded. All right, any comments? Then Lucy?
This, as we saw happen with the stadium, is a resolution more or less guaranteeing our partnership with the county to be able to help the convention center get through the terrible problems of last year as well as other things. And there are some real strong needs they have at this point. I think it's, again, as we do with the stadium, I think that's something that we'll be able to recoup that contribution from whatever revenue stream we take it with the patronage of folks at the center and through parking revenue as well as amusement tax and other ancillary fees and the benefit for local businesses. So I'm supportive of this and I appreciate the partnership involved.
Okay, thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, I agree completely with what Donna said. You know, a loss of $6.2 million is significant in terms of industry through the pandemic. We're aware of how much they do contribute to our city and to our businesses and et cetera when they are having their events. Whether it's at the arena or the Performing Arts Center. If you've seen recently, they have over 70 shows booked, you know, and that's significant for us as a city. We want to make sure they get the upgrades they need and people aren't choosing to go to other sister cities to see games and see shows. We want them to be coming to Reading and celebrating that. So I'm in full support of this.
All right, additional comments, Marcia?
And I'm glad we're able to be partnering with the county and moving this forward. This is tremendous assets and it has a synergistic effect. By that I mean, when these businesses are able to get back on their feet and thrive, it also helps all the downtown businesses, the restaurants and such all benefit from the parking. It is a win-win situation, and with the revitalization coming to downtown Reading, we have to be absolutely sure that both facilities, and I think I've expressed in previous meetings, my fondness of the Performing Arts Center and that magnificent, which is really on the level of a Broadway theater. When you look at how it's constructed, it needs some tender love and care, just as the convention center does. So I fully support this and hope we can continue to strengthen the partnerships.
All right, additional comments? All right, I agree with everyone. I think it's said before, you know, it's an economic pillar. I think you covered it well, Marcia. It brings in revenue from not only from a parking standpoint, but from a local economy standpoint. And then again, the amusement tax proceeds that we receive as well every year. With some momentum going on right now downtown, the last thing we want to do is pull the carpet on one of the good venues we have. I remember when we were building the arena, I worked across the street watching it being built, and there's a lot of people feeling it wouldn't be successful. And you know, just like the Reading Phillies, they've had success as well. Maybe they haven't been perfect, they've had a lot of strong success, and the goal is to build upon that. So we again want to thank the county. I think we all feel the same about that, for their involvement with both the and this is a city county partnership, the Convention Center Authority, where we have rotating kind of majorities on that board, but it's important that we support the endeavor. And again, we appreciate their support, not only here, but also the Reading Phillies. So if there are no other comments, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Farmer, seconded by Councilor Salomek to adopt resolution 74, 2021, which makes $3 million contribution to the convention center. Ms. Ventura?
Yes.
Ms. Cepeda Freitas?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Marmarin?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Helmut?
Yes.
Mr. Waltman President?
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Okay, council, we have two appointment resolutions. Any objection to doing them at the same time? Okay, if not, the first one is appointing Michael McDevitt to the HARB Board, the Historic Preservation Board, and the other one is appointing Pamela Gockley to the Shade Tree Commission. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments?
Well, we're getting closer and closer to getting all our boards filled, which has been something that we need to do the last 5-6 years, and it's taking place. And I'm amazed at the quality of people that are applying to be on these boards and commissions. And again, we're getting two excellent people here for the boards. One is for Harb and the other one is the Shade Tree Commission. I wish them a lot of luck.
Okay, additional comments? All right, if not, Linda, can we have a roll call, please?
Motion was made by Councilor Marbury, seconded by Councilor Salinas to adopt resolutions 75, 76, 2021, which make appointments to the city's board. Mr. Peter Freitas.
Yes.
Ms. Giving Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Marbury.
Yes.
Ms. Reed. Yes. Ms. Helena.
Yes.
Ms. Ventura.
Yes.
Mr. Walton, President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
Okay, council or administration, this brings us to our final portion of our agenda and just public comment on anything that's critically going on that people need to share this evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to express my gratitude for being at the Fire Academy Class of 2021 graduation ceremony this Friday night, the DoubleTree, and I'd like to say the names of the graduates. Those young men really did remarkable work, both in terms of learning their skills as well as the physical requirement. And it's stunning how well they put themselves in shape to be able to serve us and every day putting their lives on the line. So these are the names of the graduates: Charles LaGrossa, Sean McCormick, Timothy Peralt, Alexander Marshka, Adam Webster, Brett Buskirk, Corrigan Herbert, Justin Benner, Brett Noel Emick, Michael Grilly, Anthony Trento, and Lucas Richardson. So we wish them all the best and we thank them for putting themselves, as they will be doing every day in harm's way, to protect us as a city. So on behalf of council, I'm glad to be there and to see the families that support them, and the families know the kind of risks they're putting themselves at. So many young men with little children, which I know, Melissa, you can relate to, that, we go off to work and those little children, they look at their dad so heroically going through this, and that was pretty interesting to me. So anyhow, we wish them all the best. We had Wacky Water Wednesday at Glenside last Wednesday. We have it at Capra Park this coming Wednesday. So District 5 is happy to host Wacky Water Wednesday and get out there and get wet.
Additional comments, Marcia?
And this is not in any of our districts, but it affects all of ours. I just wanted to give a special shout out to the manufacturer, GK Elite Sportswear, which is actually located 1 block from the city line in Muhlenberg Township. However, really employs walk to work for a lot of residents of the city. And they have been renowned as always being the manufacturers of the Olympic jerseys and leotards. But what's really more important this year is that they are the primary sponsor. And by that, if you watch the gymnastics, if you get a chance, above the word USA, it says GK. That is enormous. That's like having Nike swoosh on your, and so we have a product that's right in our own backyard that has really made international recognition. I think we need to thank them in whatever way possible, and especially if I have a family member that works for the company, they do employ many, many city residents and high quality jobs. And we hope to be able to have that continued type of relationship and those kind of manufacturing jobs in our locality for our residents. So I just wanted to make mention, it's not in my district, closest to your Strat, but we all have to be proud of them.
Okay, go ahead, Lucy.
Yeah, I want to thank the mayor and the managing director and even the chief of staff for making time last week to meet and just discuss through topics and concerns, and it just shows that you're willing to connect and communicate with council to hear the needs that we present on behalf of our districts. Tie-Dye Tuesdays are back in the South of Penn, so make sure that you're tuning in to activities like that, as well as the call for community garden weeding that's happening at the Oak Brook Community Garden. I really do believe, based on the proclamation that I shared today, commendation, that when we do those things as a community, we are stronger. because it really is disheartening to hear that people are, not able to cope well with the parking issues and other issues and stresses that we are all dealing with right now. When you can connect with your neighbor and know the people in your community, it's less likely that you're going to respond in a way that is violent or inconsiderate. So please try to make the efforts, because we are all trying to work through these challenges and the heat together. So just be kind to one another.
Anybody else? Any comments? Strap?
Yes, so since this came up during the meeting about parking, the last 3 weeks have been the worst in my district that I've seen since I've lived out there. Every day or every other day, I go from the city line south to Spring, down Spring, come back up Spring, and hit all the big intersections and the bigger blocks. I've never seen so much double parking and speeding in all my life. The motorcycles, they have turned Hampton Boulevard and 13th Street into a racetrack. You used to get it, now we get it.
Yeah.
And I think, like I mentioned earlier, we can put all the regulations we want on that paper. We're not gonna enforce them, and I'm tired of hearing we don't have enough police officers. Well, if I'm having problems in my district, continuous problems, and I'm getting calls and everything, then I would make it a practice possibly to double up the patrols out there and break up these problems. But it's getting worse, and I'm afraid we're gonna have a terrible accident out there. When you see guys on a motorcycle, on these, what they call wheelies,
The three-wheelers.
I saw a guy standing on the seat, and going like crazy. And it's gonna happen, somebody's gonna get hurt bad. I think there should be more patrols put in my area. Thank you.
All right, any additional comments? Anyone from the administration, any comments? Okay, if not, I'm just briefly gonna read over our meeting schedule. We have, next Monday night, we have the nominations and appointments committee at 4 o'clock. Committee of the whole meeting at 5 o'clock. On Monday, August 9th, we have a committee of the whole meeting at 5 o'clock, followed by our next regular business meeting immediately following that meeting. If there's no other business, can we have a motion to adjourn?
You got it.
We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good job.
Oh, 1985.
Oh, I see it over there.